So this is that moment in Skyrim where you wake up in the cart, you look around, the whole beginning sequence. It's been memed, and anybody who's played Skyrim, you've seen this screen. Maybe by the time you've reached the screen, you've already figured out what you're going to do with your playthrough. I generally have figured out what I'm going to do. Some people decide after this. This particular playthrough, it took a little planning since I wanted to do an unarmed build, but I wanted to do it with a red guard. I know you can do a legit unmodded unarmed build with a Khajiit and have that kind of be viable, but I like playing the red guard. I've done the Khajiit thing. I didn't really like it. I like being the red guard, so that's what I decided to do, and I had to download a mod to do it. And during this playthrough, I couldn't get it out of my head that I wasn't being legit. Not that I was cheating, but I've played Skyrim before, but I've never beat it. And this playthrough, the intention is to beat the game. And I don't want to beat it with mods before I ever beat it just regular, and experience the game how it was meant to be. So I went through this playthrough for a bit before I decided to start over and do it differently.
That's right. Chance wolves thought you could fuck with me.
Well played, sir. Let me drink a little more.
Victory is yours. I submit. That's it? That's all you got?
You have made a fatal error, sir. All is well. Perhaps I spoke too soon. So as with all of my playthroughs, I usually go to Riften immediately to do the Thieves Guild quest line so I can get the Nightingale armor. And since I'm doing unarmed, I wanted to also come and get the gloves of the Pugilist so I can punch harder. I was vastly underleveled though, so I had to get creative. Gion the Fist fisted me quite a few times before I managed to set him on fire and burn him to death. I had a lot of fun with the unarmed build, sneaking up behind drug dealers and fisting them in the anus. But it wasn't sustainable, especially with, the doubt in my mind. Like, it was always there, constantly nagging at me. You're not doing this legit, Nate. So, eventually, actually what set me back was dying here. So I sat here in utter disbelief at my shit luck because coming back here meant that I had lost 15 to 20 minutes of progress, and it was just crushing. It's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it was a hard-fought 15 minutes for me to lose it all. And I was staring here at Carlia going, oh my god, I have to do that all over again. What better time than the present to fucking quit out of the game and delete the mods and start all over? So that's what I did.
It's one of you.
I just wanted to put in this little part for the Thieves Guild where I became an enforcer and I had to go threaten these people so that I could progress. They needed to pay their protection money,
You're gouging me for what?
and I needed to progress. So I had to do some stuff that I'm not proud of.
Now I have a lot to do.
Don't do
If I
that.
had it at bay, there's no need to do that.
This isn't happening.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave. Tell Brynjolf, if I had it at bay, there's no need to do that.
This isn't happening.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave. Tell Brynjolf, if I had it at bay, there's no need to do that.
This isn't happening.
How about that?
Don't even think about it.
So for this build, I'm doing the dual wield scimitars. I have the Nightingale armor, so I'm all set. Now all that's left for me to do basically is do the quest lines, do the missions. I have what I need to just be satisfied with my character as a character. I look good, I feel good. Now it's time to beat the game. So this is my first mission, my first actual foray into doing a story mode. At this point, I've killed Mercer, I've beat the Thieves Guild questline, except for I kept the unbreakable lockpick just for funsies. I just said funsies. That's embarrassing. Anyway, this is like my first. I'm getting into it. I'm doing it, and I'm fighting the dragon. I don't remember this dragon having a name, so I must be over leveled, and they were compensating by giving me a name dragon, who proceeded to whoop my ass. Apparently, for some reason, during this dragon fight, I was heated. I was having a great time. I was excited. The dragon fucking ate me a couple of times, just absolutely whooped my ass, and I was like eating all of my inventory, eating everything. But the audio from my microphone is totally gone, so it was sad. I was having so much fun during this fight, even though I was getting my ass whooped. Like, look how high my health is for me to just execute it like that, thrown around like a pile of fucking noodles. So at this point, I'm out of potions, out of food, and I haven't figured out how to kill this guy. Like, he got his health down, but he's clearly beating my ass. And in a moment of desperation, I find a scroll of fireball, which turns out to be bullshit. And I die after a 6-minute battle with this dragon. So the next time around, actually, there's some hired thugs who are sent to kill me. I find out later by somebody named Obar, I think. They're sent to kill me, so I'm fighting them while I'm fighting a dragon. And they're not really that strong, they're just kind of a nuisance, but I want to use them as bait for the dragon, so I leave them alone a little bit. If they're killing my guy, I'll kill them. But so here's the note, Obar. So I get on the Googs to find out where Obar is, so I can pay him a visit after I'm done with this dragon. This time around, I figure a lot of the time he flies over me and hits me with an ice blast that just wrecks my stamina and my health. So I want to utilize some invisible potions so he can't hit me in the air. Once he lands, then I'll take him to town, and you'll notice this time I take my health a lot more seriously because he freaking executed me at almost full health, and that I don't want to do anything like that. So I just what became fun for me was that this dragon was a challenge. I couldn't just spam buttons and beat him to death. I had to play smarter, and I had to play more efficiently, and that really was like, this was the first time in the game where I felt like I was having fun instead of doing a chore or a task. The problem with this kind of challenge, maybe this kind of game, becomes that every time the dragon hits me, I have to open the menu and start chugging potions, and that kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. But honestly, I don't mind it that much because I'm actually having fun. It's a challenge, and I love challenges. So I looked online and found out that Odar is a chef in Solitude, so I came here to have a word with him, find out why he wanted me dead.
But a good cook.
And it turned out that he didn't really know who I was, and that it was just a scripted kind of game moment.
Something just ain't right about that simple.
I spoke to Odar, and he didn't really have any dialogue options.
Need something?
He was kind of boring to talk to. He didn't know who I was. He didn't care who I was. You know, there's entire games based on, you know, somebody tries to kill you, and then you spend the entire game getting revenge. And I couldn't get a little quest line of revenge here, so it's fine, but I wish Odar was more prominent, like a big deal. He's not a big deal. I kill his ass twice. He means nothing to this game.